everyone, welcome to week 5 of our life here in Australia. So just doing another update to let you know what's been happening and what we've been doing. There's not really been a huge amount on this week. Monday I just kind of took things easy, basically just stayed around about the apartment. Tuesday we went into the business district. We had lunch in St Kilda at a place called The Banff, which does $6 pizzas certain times of the day and certain days of the week. So Mondays and Tuesdays from 12 PM until they close, you can get their house pizzas for $6. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, they do it from 12 until 5:30, I'm sure it is. And then Saturday, Sunday, they don't have that offer on. So we went in on Tuesday and had $6 pizza for our lunch, which was really, really good. And then we went into the business district, just picked up a few bits and pieces. I went into an art and craft store, I believe it's called Eckersley's, because I was really missing having traditional art supplies. So I just got myself a sketchbook and a mechanical pencil and an eraser. I had thought about getting myself some normal pencils to sketch with, but the thing is, if I get normal pencils, then it means that I have to get sharpeners to go with those, and I already have sharpeners. It's just that they happen to be in with all the stuff that's being shipped to us. So I wanted to try and keep the amount of stuff that I was buying to an absolute minimum. So I just went with a mechanical pencil, and that meant that I can just move the pencil up just by pressing the end, and I don't have to get a sharpener for it. After that, we went to Big W. I wanted to get some more coat hangers because we didn't have a huge amount when we moved into this apartment. There was only maybe like a dozen maximum between the two of us, and so we'd bought some and it still didn't really seem like enough, so I went and got some more. I still don't really feel like it's enough. I've got certain things doubled up on my coat hangers, and quite a lot of my things just seem to be better hanging rather than folded up, because otherwise it just means that they crease too easily. We don't actually have any drawers in this apartment, so anything that is folded is in these kind of hanging clothes organisers, which we brought with us. Stephen kind of thought to bring those with us, so that was a really, really good idea, because as it turns out, there would be nowhere else for us to store folded clothes if we didn't bring those. So yeah, like I said, I got some coat hangers in Big W, and I can't remember if we did anything else. There was a place in, I think it was Melbourne Central Shopping Centre that we went into, and we just had our usual kind of cake and something to drink. Oh, and I also went to Mecca Maxima for the first time. I'd found out where it was. It's in Melbourne Central Shopping Centre, and I just wanted to get myself a couple of products. I may talk about these at some point in the future, so I'm sure if you've been on my Instagram then you'll see what I bought. But anyway, yeah, I went into Mecca Maxima. It's quite a bit bigger than I thought it was going to be, and they just have so much makeup and stuff. It would be very easy to spend a lot of money in there if you weren't very disciplined, but luckily I'm a lot more disciplined than what I used to be. But you know, it's nice to know that it's there and that they have the kind of products that I will be looking to buy in the future, in terms of they have a lot of the kind of cruelty-free brands that I like to stick to. So I think my foundation's kind of running low, so I'll probably be back there at some point within the next few weeks to buy a new foundation. And to be honest, even though I thought that I might have a bit of a tan by this point, I still seem to be pretty much exactly the same colour as when I arrived, so I imagine that I'll be buying a pale coloured foundation again. Wednesday was actually the day of the election in America, so we kind of spent a lot of time sitting watching the TV, just watching all the results come in from that, which isn't something that we would normally do, but I think the world has spent a very long time looking at this election. So we were watching that, and then partway through the day we went into South Melbourne. We got some bits and pieces for the next few days in terms of food, and everybody at the market was talking about the election while we were there. Again, this is just not something that normally happens, but everybody is talking about the election in America. And I think actually the UK exchange rate in terms of how many dollars you get for your pound has increased ever since the election rather in America, because when the whole Brexit thing happened in the UK, our exchange rate in terms of the amount of Australian dollars that you got for your pound fell really, really quickly. It used to be something like 1.95 Australian dollars that you got to your pound, and it really quickly fell to less than 1.85, and then it's just kind of fallen down and down and down to 1.6. And in the last few days since the American election, it's gone up to 1.67, which is the highest that it's been for quite a while now, which was really interesting. So yeah, that's pretty much what we were doing on Wednesday. Thursday, I don't think we were really up to very much. Friday, certainly in the evening, we went out for dinner. On the back of some of the receipts that you get, there's different promotions for places that you can go and get discounts. So we went to a place called Beludo, which is on Ackland Street in St Kilda, and you can get buy one get one free on main meals at the moment. I think that's running out in December. So we thought we would just go and try that out while they had the offer on. Got some really tasty food, and then just went and got a cake from Ackland Street before we came home. So that was really nice. And yesterday we spent the day at the Taste Festival in Albert Park. We were expecting that there was going to be a lot of food there because it's a food and drink festival, but it turned out there was a lot more in the way of drink than there was food. I think I only had a couple of small things to eat, and other than that it was pretty much all alcohol that they seemed to have. And I'm also quite restricted with what I eat because I eat gluten-free, so there were certain things that I would have quite liked to have, but I couldn't eat them because they weren't suitable for my diet. So we did that yesterday, and then we just came home, had some dinner, and sat about. I've spoken with my parents this morning on FaceTime, and this afternoon I have a doctor's appointment. Nothing in particular, just I need to get some medication which I take on a regular basis, and I just need a new prescription for that. One thing which has been a bit disappointing this week is the fact that we emailed our international removal people at the end of last week. They emailed us back the early hours of Tuesday morning our time, which was probably Monday afternoon their time, to let us know that our stuff is actually still in the UK. We were expecting that by that point it would have been well underway on the way to us over here in Australia, but it's actually not. It's still sitting in a warehouse in the UK, waiting to get onto a shipping container so that it can come on a boat over to here. And now that's been 5 weeks and we've still not had another update, which means that it's still in the UK at this point in time, which is almost a week later than when we last heard something. So that's been quite disappointing, really. I was hoping that our stuff would arrive sooner rather than later. They did say to us anything from 10 to 16 weeks. Now it's definitely looking like it's going to be more like the 16 weeks, and if there's much more of a delay in terms of getting our belongings onto a shipping container and onto a boat, then it could even be beyond the 16 weeks. So we only actually have this place booked until the middle of January. That takes us to about 15 and a half weeks from when our stuff was sent. away from our house. So we were kind of thinking that that was playing it fairly safe because it was leaving it on the longer side of things, but now not quite sure, just going to have to wait and see what happens. Other than that, I did go into work this week and I handed in all of the paperwork that I had available for them. There were a few things that I didn't have and I couldn't provide them with, so I wasn't sure what was going to happen with that, whether they were going to hold up the process until I was able to provide them with certain pieces of paperwork that I didn't have just now. But they took everything that I gave them and they said it was fine. Everything that I couldn't give them at this point in time, they're happy for me to take that in and give it to them when I do have it available. And so they are ready for me to start work on Monday, which is tomorrow. So that's what's been going on with me at the moment. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think. If there's anything in particular that you want me to be doing, then just leave me a comment in the comment section below, and I will see you next time.